Ijin looks at his sister, who is looking horrified at what is transpiring. Ijin suddenly jabs the guy's hand and drops his backpack on the ground. He goes to Dayun and tells her to stand still for a bit, gently putting his blazer on her head. The guy tries to come from behind with an attack, but he swiftly gets knocked out with one punch. The other two surprised at this performance. Ijin is annoyed that he had to break the promise he made to the lieutenant in the first day. The other guy is now visibly sweating and is very confused at what just occurred. It cuts to a military zone where some people are training. We see Kong looking at them. That's when a soldier comes behind him, saying that today is the day that Ijin goes to school. It seems that they have educated him for half a year, and they hope that he adjusts well. Kang confidently says that he will be fine. He trained Ijin after all. It cuts to the conflict MC is in, right when he knocks the first guy out. The guy is knocked out cold, just from one hit. Ijin swiftly dashes to the other person and punches him right in the gut, throwing him over the small balcony and knocking him out instantly as well. The girl is shocked at the outcome of the fight, and Ijin looks at her with killing intent. Dayun takes the blazer that was on her head off and wonders what happened to the guys that were picking a fight, seeing them knocked out cold. Ijin walks past the girl, right to Dayun, and asks her if she was surprised, offering to buy some food for her, Dayun reassuring him that it's okay. Ijun says that they should go home, and we get a glimpse of just how well-built he is, with his muscles showing even through his clothes. The girl looks at him for a second, asking if it's really the same person that knocked two people out in an instant, because he's treating Dayun so gently. They leave, and the girl is left dumbfounded. While walking back, Dayun asks if he knocked out the guys that were threatening them, and he says yes. Dayun says that it's rude to stare at people, and they might get angry. Ijin says that he knows, but he did all of that because it looked like they were causing her trouble. She flares up at this notion, and blushes heavily, Ijin wondering if it's because it's something he said. At home, his grandpa is pleading with him to not do the dishes, and instead sit and to eat some fruit. Ijin refuses, saying that he should sit down while he does the dishes. While doing the dishes, his grandpa says that he hopes the food was to his liking, and that he prepared the food to the best of his abilities. Ijin says that he always enjoys his cooking, and the food is always delicious, his grandpa clearly being happy about the compliment. He then asks about the first day of school, and says if there were any problems. Ijin looks back at Dayun, and says that there were none. They all wish each other good night, and head to bed. While sitting in his bed, Ijin thinks about the things that happened up to this point, at how his grandpa kindly welcomed him, showing the amount of food he made for him. While sleeping, Ijin dreams about the day of the crash, and we see a glimpse of what happened, his parents protecting him while the plane was falling to its doom. He jolts awake, relieved that it was just a dream. He goes out of his room and sees Dayun preparing him breakfast. Ijin notices that his grandfather is missing, Dayun noting that he left for work. Ijin slightly surprised at the notion. Dayun also hurries to the door, saying that she has to leave early. Ijin looks at the food on the table, which is quite a lot of leftovers from last night. It cuts to the girl who witnessed the fight previously, who is explaining to the girl that is bullying Dayun, her name being Heejin, that the guy who knocked all her friends out was Dayun's brother. We then see that after Ijin and Dayun left, Heejin happened to pass the group of bullies, demanding to know what happened to them. The girl asks herself if they would really be okay if they keep bullying Dayun, remembering what Ijin did and the glare he gave her afterwards. But she reassures herself, saying that Heejin's brother is the alpha among the third years. We cut to Dayun suddenly being slapped across the head, and we see that it was Heejin, who demands for Dayun to follow her. Dayun does so, and it cuts to outside of the school, where Dayun is now getting beaten up. Heejin saying that she warned her about acting out. Heejin says that her brother's life is going to be tiresome too, implying that her brother is going to Ijin right now, and that he probably met him already. Dayun screams in retaliation, but gets slapped. Heejin annoyed at her screaming. Dayun gets up and runs to Ijin's class, where we see that Heejin's brother and his goons are already inside it. She makes it before they could do anything, and screams for her brother. Ijin sees her all tattered, red across the face due to the slap, and her clothing all muddied, his eyes turning predatory. Heejin's brother scoffs at this, and asks Dayun if she's worried about him. Heejin coming out of the doorway and saying that even she would be worried if her brother got beat up. Judging by Ijin's look, things will not end well for them. A few moments prior to the incident, we see Lee and Ju bullying Youngchan, throwing erasers at him, trying to aim for his head. Ju asks a classmate for his eraser rather intimidatingly, and he obliges. This eraser is quite big, and he hits Young-chan in the head, who is uncomfortable with this. Lee and Ju bicker between each other, with Lee saying that he just got lucky, and it's just because he did it with a big eraser. He picks up a bigger eraser, who looks quite hard, and throws it with all his might, but that's when Ijin comes in front of the victim, blocking the projectile with his backpack. They are quite annoyed at this, and when Ijin sits down, they plan to call him over after school to make him stop being annoying. Ijin asks Young-chan if he is okay, and he reluctantly says yes, with Ijin noticing the bullies looking at him and laughing. Young-chan asks Ijin if he is doing anything after school. If not, he can show him around. Ijin declines, saying that he has to go home with his sister today. Young-chan is interested at this notion, asking if they transferred together. Ijin says that she was already in school, and Young-chan asks her name. When he hears the name Dayun, he immediately panics, and with sadness on his face, he tells Ijin that his sister's school life is rather difficult, because she was quite popular with the boys since middle school due to her being pretty, and there was a girl who had a crush on one of the boys. That's how they started bullying Dayun. Ijin is surprised that people would just let this happen, but Young-chan says that it's because the girl's older brother is Kim Kisu, the top dog in the third year's class 3. Young-chan continues, saying that this harassment got even worse, as she was in the same class as the main girl bully when they started school, getting so bad that people were surprised she was still attending school. Ijin tries to understand all this, finding it quite dumb that she would bully Dayun for such an idiotic reason. Young-chan says that once you learn the truth, it's nothing special. People like them don't need any special reason to bully. Ijin thinks back at what they talked with his grandpa, who asked Dayun if her school life is going well. Dayun obviously lying that it is, with a tinge of sadness on her face. Ijin thanks him for the information, and that's when a large guy, the same one Ijin beat up at the store, bashes the door of the class, with a group of other people following him. Ju asks what they're doing here, but that's when Kim Kisu responds, saying that there's something that he wants, with the group surprised that he is here. Kim's goons point him to Ijin, who bashes them for losing against such a guy, noting that he looks quite frail. He beckons Ijin to get up, and he does so. Ijin asks if he is Kim, with Kim surprised that he already knows his name. Ijin glares at him, which annoys Kim, ordering one of his goons to bring him over here. While the goon approaches Ijin, his sister suddenly rushes in, bruised and dirty. Ijin takes in the sight, and his eyes turn cold. Kim says that he is quite jealous Ijin has such a caring sister, with Haijin suddenly responding that she would be worried too if her brother was about to be beaten up. Dayun looks at the amount of people that are going after Ijin and begins crying, apologizing to him. Ijin says that there is no need to apologize, suddenly throwing a right hook at the guy that's in front of him, knocking him out cold. Ijin assures her that none of this is her fault. Another goon tries to punch Ijin, but to no avail, as Ijin redirects his punch, hitting his exposed windpipe. The goon instantly falls to his knees, surely having a hard time breathing. One of the last goons panics, desperately trying to hit Ijin. This, however, is what dooms him, as he is extremely exposed. Ijin throws a kidney shot, landing the hit and toppling the guy over. Everyone is left shocked at this outcome, even Kim. Ijin glares at the brother and sister, who are left shaken by this. Kim notes that Ijin knows a few tricks, Ijin ignoring him completely. Kim tries to hit Ijin in the neck with his leg, thinking at first that he got him. His illusions disappear, however, as he sees that Ijin blocked the attack perfectly. Kim panics and throws another attack on the other side, Ijin easily blocking this one. He grabs Kim's leg and punches him directly in the face, throwing him on the ground. Ijin glares at him with murderous intent, and with one final attack, he knocks Kim out. Everyone is surprised he could defeat Kim, Lee, and Ju even more so. He approaches Haijin, clenching his fist as he does so. Haijin is sure that he will hit her, but that's when Dayun stops him, saying it's enough. Ijin retorts this notion, asking if these aren't the same people that bullied her. She says that it's fine now, and he should stop. Ijin does so, and offers to take her back to class. In the class, Kim's sister is fuming at the sight of her brother and his friends beaten up. While walking, Dayun notes that Ijin is quite good at fighting, and also apologizes again, saying that it's because of her he got into fights 2 days in a row. Ijin says that he would happily fight for her, saying that from where he used to live,